Hey y'all, I am fresh out of the theater after seeing Freakier Friday. Just got to my car and I have thoughts. I have thoughts, I have thoughts, I have thoughts. So, Freakier Friday was so much fun. It was a nice nostalgia ride that I got to go on with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Seeing those two together again after so many years has been so satisfying because their performances in this film were brilliant. They did not miss a beat. And I feel like we jumped back into these characters and their chemistry and their dynamic was off in such a unique and compelling way. And so that's my first big my first big highlight of this film is the chemistry between the characters, and really more so Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, because they fell right back into the mother-daughter dynamic. We see them older, a little more mature. They've got new struggles that they're going through. And so we get to jump right back into that story. And that was just so fascinating for me to watch and just feel like I was reconnecting with these characters. It was really great. In a way that a lot of times you're kind of just like, okay, but why did we do this? And that's kind of what I will say about this movie, is that with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan's characters, they did not really have a whole lot to do in the film. They had a lot of plots that kind of pushed the other two girls' plots forward, but they kind of took a lot of a backseat, a huge backseat. Their characters, which is great for us in terms of our nostalgic cravings, because with our nostalgic cravings, I want to watch Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. And that is exactly what they gave me. That's exactly what they gave me in this film. They gave me so much hilarious shenanigans with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, and it was so much fun to watch. And so, watching, and Jamie Lee Curtis, wow. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis more so than Lindsay Lohan, because she's aging, and she is having so much fun with embracing these characters in an older role, and I love that. I love that. I had a great time. The problem that I had, though, with the film, and this is what's kind of going to knock it down, because right now I've been raving about it, giving you these beautiful highlights, but this is really what's going to knock it down. The editing was some of the ugliest, most disgusting editing I think I've ever seen in my life. And I hated it. I felt like the effect of the earthquake felt just like it did in 2003. Like, and I feel like we're in 2025. You got to give me a little more than that, right? I felt like any of the things that weren't done practically and that were using effects were just not well done. The cast handled everything beautifully, but I want to figure out what happened to the sound, not the sound mixing, the sound mixing. Because why were people's lips either moving when they weren't saying anything or not moving when I was hearing audio? And then when it was delayed or off, or I was grossed out. I was grossed out. I couldn't. And with the editing was a huge thing for me, because it failed to let me know if I was watching a film, like something that was made for theaters or something that was made for home television. And I kept vacillating between those two. This is for sure a made for film movie, and this is for sure a made for TV movie. So the performances really carried it very heavily, and they had a lot of fun. The story was really interesting, and the editing was terrible. The other part I will say about the story is a little long. It's a little long. And I know what they were trying to do. They were probably trying to justify this is going to be in theaters. This is da-da-da-da. But the story feels like you could kind of shave about 20 minutes off. Like, it only needed to be at 90 minutes. Like, if you gave me a nice little 90-minute cutoff, we're out, I'd be good. And it was just a little long. But I will say the acting is so good in this film. So as much as I was just very frustrated with a lot of the choices, and the editing really bothered me so much, The acting is actually going to push it up for me. And so I think I feel confident in giving this film a 6. It is not stellar. It's not something that I'm like, everybody needs to see this movie. It is very much nostalgia bait, and I fell for the bait. So I'm giving it a 6. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about this movie right now. Hopefully I get to deep dive into it and really get into spoilers sometime soon. But if not, here is my non-spoiler, fresh off the cuff, coming right out of the theater review of Freakier Friday. So tell me in the comments, are you planning on seeing it? Check out all of our adventures here at the Lunchroom.